If you are recording your meetings in Zoom and you want to share those recordings with anybody automatically, you don't want to miss this video. I'm going to be going into detail about how you can build an automation using Airtable, Zoom, Zapier. We're going to string together a bunch of different tools here. So if that's of interest, stick around and let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Gareth, and we are all about helping you to organize and automate your business and your life using no-code tools. So as I mentioned already, in this video, we're going to be talking about automating the production, so to speak, of your Zoom recorded webinars and or meetings. But before I get into that, do know a couple of housekeeping things. Now, first and foremost, if you are struggling with a lot of admin repetitive tasks, you're trying to multiply yourself and get more time out of your day, you could probably stand to learn a lot about automation. I do a weekly live webinar. I would invite you to join me on that if you are struggling to keep up or if you'd just like to reclaim some more time. So check out the link below, join me on that free training, and even if you can't be there live, you can always catch the replay, where I'm going to teach you the basics of just getting through automation in general so that you can reclaim your time. Okay, now, before I get into the guts of this actual video though, I have to give credit where it's due. This automation, the genesis and the brain behind this entire process is one of our hourly consultants, an excellent human by the name of Connor. So shout out to Connor. He is the mastermind that put this whole thing into motion. I didn't even know some of this was possible, and without him, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you, Connor. Credit where it's due. He is the master when it comes to automating with Zoom and a lot of other tools. All right, let's get into this. Now, there are previous videos that I've done that show how to set up a booking system. So we are in, advanced stages here. If you are new to this and a lot of what I'm going to show you on my screen doesn't make any sense, definitely go back and watch those other videos. We've done this now on several different videos where we show you how to build a booking system. Now that being said, let's get on into it. The first thing I want you to do before you've even messed with Airtable, messed with Zapier, before you get anywhere else, you've got to start with your Zoom and you have to give yourself permission to actually automate. Okay, inside of your Zoom account, if you go down to settings on the left-hand side and then you click on recording, you want to come down part way through the screen and make sure that you toggle this off. This setting is require passcodes in order to access shared cloud recordings. If this is toggled on, you can't automate anything because basically it's going to be looking for that passcode and it's not going to get it and it's going to be a mess. Okay, so make sure you toggle this off in order to get the results you're looking for. All right, now let's zoom way back out, take a quick look at our database. We've got clients linking to consultations, linking to our team members, linking to our invoicing. Again, a lot of this we covered in previous videos, so I'm not going to go into all the detail here. And then we also have the idea that we have this calendar event that someone is able to sign up for in Calendly. So let me walk you through the process of somebody signing up and going through the motions, and then we can watch the automation step by step do its thing. All right, so first we're gonna have to book a fake example inside of our calendar. So let's go ahead and jump into that. I'm gonna book it for this day here. Just enter my information. And once I'm all done with that, I'm gonna schedule the event. Now this event, of course, is gonna go to the attendee and to the person hosting the event. And in the back end, we've already built automation that is going to find that person and record that new session here. So again, in our Airtable database, this is work we did previously. We are having our new consultation automatically added here. So it's telling me where the meeting location is, what the date and time is, who the consultant is who's meeting with this person, and who the client is, right? So that was all information that was just provided. Now, what we're doing is building an automation so that when this event is recorded, we can automatically share that recording with our client. The automation is a little complicated, so let's take it one step at a time. First, we are setting up inside of Zapier an automation trigger that says when a new recording is found in Zoom, it's going to trigger this automation. So let's really quickly go into our calendar and start this meeting. Now, in order to have our automation trigger, we first need to record our meeting. So I've gone ahead and turned on the meeting here, and I'm going to then set up to record in the cloud. Now, the problem here is that your Zoom recordings have a limited amount of cloud storage space. And if you want more, it costs quite a pretty penny. So by doing this, I'm able to actually just record that meeting in the cloud and then go back and delete my cloud recordings whenever I see fit. So now I've actually recorded some time on that meeting. And if I flip back into my Zoom account, we will see that pretty shortly, I'm going to have a recording showing up here. So let me go ahead and refresh my recordings page. And you can see that sure enough, there's this new meeting that was scheduled with Gareth Pronovost being the client here. If you recall, that's the name I put in when I booked the initial appointment. And the recording is processing. So it will be showing up pretty soon in our Zoom account. Now that is exactly what we need in order to trigger this automation. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here, wait a few minutes for Zoom to catch up so that I can go through the next few steps. All right, it didn't take too long, but now that I'm back in Zoom and have refreshed my page, you can see that sure enough, the files were successfully uploaded and processed in the cloud. So I can now go into my Zapier trigger and just go ahead and set it up as follows. Connect to your Zoom account, set up a new trigger so that when you get a new either meeting or you can choose webinar here. And once that is done, we can go ahead and test this trigger, pulling in some sample data. So I can go ahead, scroll down here and load some more data here, and we will find the newest recording that was just uploaded to the cloud. So here is the information about that meeting. And so now I want to make sure to take that recording and again, remove it from my Zoom account in the cloud, but instead put it somewhere that it can live into perpetuity where I don't have to worry about it taking up all this storage space. Now, before I get to that, first I need to do some formatting magic. So I'm going to drop into the Zapier formatter. And in this particular setup, I'm going to pick the formatter by Zapier, and I'm going to be formatting some text data. When I set this action up, I'm going to choose split text. And what I'm trying to do here is find out who the client is. Now, unfortunately, we don't get that information from the recording. Of course, Zoom doesn't know who our client is, but it kind of does in a way because as you notice, the name of the recording is actually the client's name, colon, with whatever the event type is that we booked in Calendly. So we can scrape out the client name from the title, and that's what we're going to do with this split text function. So we say, look, I want to bring in the topic or the title of that Zoom meeting, and I'm looking for that colon, right? Because again, if we look at the actual topic itself, it is the full name, colon, and then the name of the event. And so again, I'm looking for the colon, and I want to bring back everything that appears in front of that colon. So if we go ahead and test this step, let's test this action step, you're going to find that, sure enough, it identifies the full name of the client. And now this is something that I can use in my database. So now I'm going to, in my third step of the automation, find the client with that first and last name. This is easy enough. We're just going to connect back to our Airtable account. We're going to find a record, and P.S., it is a fact that the record will already exist. It's impossible for us to be searching for a record that doesn't already exist because in order to have had the meeting, there had to have been a client who scheduled the meeting, right? So we're going to find the record. Don't worry about creating it. It will always be there. So when we find it, we have to map to our Airtable account. And then, of course, choose the base that you're looking at. In this case, my database is called Booking Calendar Example. You're going to look at your clients table, and we're going to search for the full name in Airtable. So over on Airtable, what we're doing is we're looking at all of the people by their full name, first space, last name. And we are going to look for the client that matches the name that we filtered out in our second step. All right, so this is how we're going to find the client. Again, we don't need to check this box. We do not need to create the record because it will always exist. Now we're going to test this action out. And this time, when I test it, we should be able to find the client that corresponds to me. And sure enough, there is the client Gareth Pronovost inside of our Airtable database, and you can see that the Zap search successfully found the client. Now we are ready for step 4 in our automation. We are going to do a little bit more formatting, and in this time we're going to format a date. And we need to make sure to format it for an upcoming step in our automation where we're going to find the precise consultation that this recording belongs to. But first, format the date. So here we're going to choose the formatter by Zapier yet again, and we are going to this time be formatting a date and or time. So in our action setup here, you're going to take the format option and you're bringing in the start time of the recording. Now this is the date timestamp of when the recording started. And what we need out of this is just the date. We don't care so much about the time, so convert it to month/day/year. Notice that this is MM, meaning that it's going to be a 2-digit month in every case, also a 2-digit day, and always a 4-digit year. If you're in a different time zone, of course, convert it to your appropriate time zone, although this won't matter all that much because for the most part, we're just converting a date. And so then we are able to get this outcome. Now in this case, if I test and review, we are scraping that date timestamp that our recording started and we're converting it to just a date. Now in step 5, we are going to upload the video to YouTube as a private link. Now, even if you don't already have a YouTube account that you use to engage with your audience, that is totally fine. This is a great way for you to store videos on YouTube in private URLs, and then you can share those URLs with your client, and you don't have to worry about the storage space of hosting that video. YouTube will host the video for you, and again, you have full control over who gets access to the video URL. You can set it up to be private or otherwise unshared. So for this particular step, we are going to connect to a YouTube account. Go ahead and set up yours, and you are choosing the action to upload a video. You're going to, again, then choose your YouTube account if you have more than one, and set up your video to upload. And the pieces that you'll need here, of course, we're going to bring in a title. It's a requirement. You can include the date here if you so choose, but in this case, I just brought in the topic, which again, in our example, is the client, the event type. Also, it's required that you have a description. So for the description, I again brought in the topic with the start time as well that we solved for in our previous step. And then this is the important part, of course, the video itself. You must use the video files download URL that Zoom presented to us in the trigger event. Now, in order to make sure that this is not publicly shared on your YouTube, you want to make sure to set the privacy status to be unlisted, meaning that when you upload this video, not everyone is going to be able to see it. It will be unlisted and therefore only accessible to people who have that specific URL. Lastly, if you do use your YouTube channel in a way that you're communicating with a larger audience, you definitely want to set your notify subscribers to be false. You don't want your subscribers to receive notification that you just uploaded a private video. So go ahead and set all those settings up, and we're going to test this action and test and review here. And sure enough, after this has gone out and done its thing, we're going to flip into our YouTube channel on this other page. Let's refresh this and see what we can find. This is a listing of our actual videos, and you see, sure enough, my top video here, 95% processed already. It has just put that video recording into the YouTube channel. Great, so that'll be done in just a moment. Now for our next step, we're going to scroll down to step 6, and this is where we are going to find the unique consultation that this particular recording pertained to. Now let's just quick reminder, let's flip back into our database and consider the information that already lives in our consultation table. This recording is specific to a consultation that we held that was previously scheduled with us, right? And so we need to find the corresponding record inside of our Airtable database in order to then bring in the URL that we just uploaded to YouTube. So in this case, this is the particular consultation. You see that I have 17 examples, and then this 18th one, if I scroll all the way over, I have not yet added the recording URL to this. So how do I make sure that I'm finding the recording that has the right client name and the right date? Well, I can build a sophisticated search or lookup system inside of my database to help me filter just those corresponding records. So in this case, I'm using a unique search formula that I've built here. The search formula is looking at the client record ID, which is unique to each client. This is the record ID in Airtable. And it's also taking the date and time of the consultation and putting it in month, remember 2-digit month, / day, 2-digit day, and then 4-digit year, right? And so this output here, if we were to look at it, is the record ID of the client with a dash, and then month, / day, / year. Now that's all information, the record ID of the client and the day of the consultation. That is information we already have, and we can now use it to find the corresponding record. So let's flip back into Zapier, and what I'm now doing is looking for the matching consultation so that I can then upload the proper YouTube URL to that consultation in my database. So in this step, again, I'm going to find a record in Airtable, map it to your proper Airtable account and your proper database, and I'm looking for this record in my consultations table. I'm using a search formula. This is the field that I'm looking at to try to find the consultation that matches the consultation that just got recorded, right? Again, in my search formula, let's flip back over here. It is the record ID dash the date of the consultation. And so I know the record ID of the client because I found the record ID of the client in step 3. And I also know when this recording was filmed because I've formatted that already to a month, day, year format. And I just need to add that little hyphen in here. So I bring in the record ID from step 3, a dash, and then the date from step 4. And if you want to, you can also make sure that you are looking only for records that don't yet have a recording. So in order to do this slightly more advanced feature, you can build a particular view that filters out all data that has a recording URL already. So in this case, there's only one record in my database that is a scheduled consultation that doesn't yet have a recording saved in the database, right? So inside of our Zap, we can say that we want to specifically look at that view. That way we're making sure that we're not overriding a consultation that already has a URL assigned to it. All right, so all we're doing is finding the corresponding record. And if we flip back into our action step again, we are looking for the search value that includes the client and the start date of this recording. So let's go ahead and give this a search and see if it will properly find the record in Airtable. And sure enough, we get the green check mark. The Zap successfully found a record. It found this particular record. This is the one that I'm recording right now for Gareth, Pronovost being the client, and the date of the recording being the 4th of July, 2021. All right. So our last step now will be to bring in the YouTube URL that was created and add it back to our database so that we have a nice storage of all of these things. So again, map to your Airtable. You are going to be updating a record because we already know what that consultation record is. Back in Choose Account, you can simply choose your Airtable account. And then here in setting up the action, choose your base, consultations, and the record that you want to update is the record that we found in the previous step. So in order to bring this in, simply click in here and choose Custom, scroll down, find record, and bring in your record ID from the record that you found in the previous step. All right, what are we updating? Well, we don't want to mess with anything in this particular record except we want to add the recording URL from YouTube. So in order to do that, simply drop in to your recording URL and find your play URL, which is one of the options that comes out of the step where we upload to YouTube. Now this is the unlisted version, again, so nobody else will ever be able to view this video unless you share that URL with them. Otherwise it's private, right? So go ahead and bring that into the database. So let's flip back into the database, look at all our records here. Again, we just assumed that we had this consultation with this client on this day, and over here we don't yet have the recording URL. So when I run this step, let's go ahead and test it and flip back into Airtable just in time to see that it puts that up there. Now, as a check, we can go ahead and click on this link, and it's going to open this in YouTube. And sure enough, that's me from just moments ago when we recorded the recording in Zoom. Now we no longer have to rely on this Zoom recording to be stored in our Zoom cloud. I can go into my Zoom recordings and just delete all of these. And now I don't have to worry about how much storage space I have inside of Zoom, and I have this recording all shared in YouTube that I can share specifically with my clients. So this is a great way for you to then share that with your clients as a final step. If you so choose, you could send out an email that says, hey, thanks for meeting with me today. Here is a recording of our session. Go ahead and check it out. It will be available on our YouTube channel in an unlisted video that no one else will ever see unless you share it. So a great way for you to connect with your clients after the fact and give them a way to go back and review the amazing work that you did with them on that Zoom session. As always, I hope you found that to be extremely helpful. If you did and you'd like to learn more, swing by our website and see how we can help. We offer a free Airtable crash course that will help you level up in Airtable quickly, and we also have some paid services, including hourly consultations with our experts. We have some online courses and a group coaching program. And for advanced needs, we can build a bespoke solution for you from scratch. So swing on by, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.